The views and opinions expressed on From the Mouths of Madness are that of the panel and not of the Geeks Under the Influence Network or their sponsors, Amazon.com and tpublic.com. Listeners, beware. Coming straight from the Mouths of Madness. I'm one of the hosts, Lowdown, and with me as always is...
F.U. Hunter. What's up, bitches?
Spooky, possessed bitches.
Yeah.
Demonic, occult bitches.
May the power of love be with you. Oh, sorry. No.
You must destroy the altar! Sorry. I don't. Anyway,
oh, man. Yeah, I know. We're already let's jump into this.
So tonight on the chopping block, we're going to be talking about 2021's Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. Ooh, spooky.
For the start, by the way, that's a stupid fucking title. Come on, man.
Couldn't they just call it Conjuring 3?
Yeah,
it's just Conjuring 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Conjuring 2 is like just Conjuring 2, if I remember correctly.
You're like, I don't know. Is this one going to have any demons or devils in it? Oh, it's in the title. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, the devil maybe
I'm very aware now. I was concerned at first doing another Conjuring movie.
If there's going to be a demon in it or possession, but the title told me, so I was good.
Hey, Powerwolf said it best. Demons are a girl's best friend.
That's right.
Just saying. Oh man, that's another cool song that goes along with this by who is it? Black Dahlia Murder, was it? Where it was like when a demon defiles a witch.
I don't think I've heard that.
That kind of what happens in this movie.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'd been better if she if they did like a Terrifier ending where she just like fist fucked her through her mouth and that's how she killed her and took her back to hell versus just like twisting her neck or whatever it was.
We're talking about the evil librarian, right?
Yeah. Evil librarian.
Because
school marm.
I'm just saying, at least most of the old ladies in the series have looked fucking creepy and scary, and this one just looks like a librarian that's like angry at you.
How do they go from what is it, Varvac from 2? I forget the fucking demon's name, the nun.
Yeah.
To which was creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
To her.
I don't know.
And see, the last scene with her was creepy because the demon looks like her. Right. That was a cool shot. If she looked like that, that'd be different.
But that's it. It's the last
one shot.
Yeah, and she's the main quote unquote bad guy of the movie.
Yeah. So all right. So this is not directed by James Wan, which might be part of the problem. He was a writer of one of the 3 writers in the film, but he did not direct this.
Plus, I'll be honest, they're still hitting you up with the based on a true story.
Most of their stuff's been debunked.
And that's what I'm saying is some of it, I'm just like, fucking stop. Like, I don't know. Like, you can tell, like, probably that there's names and references to dates and some stuff. But, man, like, instead of saying inspired by a true story when it's, like, based, like, that, it's hard for me then when you get into, like, overwhelming supernatural shit. And you're just like, really? Really based? You don't want to say, like, you don't want to maybe inspired by, where you could just kind of say some stuff
like they do with a lot of books they know they took liberties with. They're like inspired by the novel.
I'm just saying. So we're saying, what's her name? Warren chick. Like, her psych abilities, a crime solver. Like, she's pretty much whatever that fucking movie was, that TV show.
She's basically
or The Gift. You know how The Gift, like
I viewed her as Johnny from Dead Zone.
That's being too nice. So.
Or is it being too nice, or is it hurting Johnny?
That's what. Yeah, that's
hurting Johnny.
But I'm just saying, like, or The Gift. You know the You never saw The Gift?
Never watched The Gift.
Directed by Sam Raimi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got Keanu Reeves as a fucking shitty ass redneck motherfucker. But
I couldn't imagine a redneck talking like a surfer dude though.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. Well, yeah.
Totally gonna get in my truck, do some mudding. Yeah. We are gonna mud.
We're totally gonna go fuck us a sheep, bro.
Let's go get a 6-pack and fuck some shit up. Yeah.
With his fucking balls swinging from his trailer hitch.
But the whole concept of The Gift is like she has these psychic powers, and then after a while, these cops come to her to help kind of solve crimes, which kind of happens here.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So I'll check it out. If it's that good, let's not.
I don't know if it's that good. I just remember seeing it, and it didn't suck. I don't know if I'd say it's good. That kind of middle ground.
So this film was directed by Michael Chavez, I believe is his last name. And if this means any, if no one's watched this Conjuring 3, but you have watched The Curse of La Llorona and saw that tire fire, he directed that.
Okay, so he had no involvement in any of the Annabelle movies. He didn't direct any of them.
As far as I know, no.
Okay, I was just expecting he did one of the Annabelle movies.
No, Curse of La Llorona, which was...
It's close enough, yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of this weird generic playbook that honestly started with Insidious, kind of continued with Conjuring, and in which both of those, I feel like the first Insidious and Conjuring, really strong, but then you kind of branch off, and then you get into these different realms. I'm not a huge fan of some of the later Insidious, the Annabelle movies. I haven't seen Conjuring 2, so I'm not going to make a judgment call on that. But like what's the one that he directed before this that you just brought up?
Lorna.
Yeah.
And then there's The Nun.
I heard
too.
I heard that was dog shit. Yeah, and then The Nun again. I just got fatigue already, and that kind of.
Well, it's a whole. It's called the Conjuring universe.
Yeah.
Because you can watch them all in sequence. You can watch. It starts with like The Nun, and I think it's like. Then I think it's it's Annabelle, and then I think it's the first Conjuring. Then it's like the Curse of La Llorna. I
the thing that kind of sucks is that, and of course you're gonna do this. Conjuring did, everybody really liked it. It did an amazing business. It was kind of like the big like cult movie that summer that came out, where it just had these legs and it got big, more and more word of mouth. But then because you've just kind of squeezed that fucking universe into all these branches, now it doesn't stand up like it used to.
If they just stuck with the Warrens, because that's what people know, and I mean the Warrens were already in film from the Amityville Horror, like people already knew of them.
Yeah.
So it's like if you just stuck with the Warrens and the Conjuring, because they have all the different, they have so many stories. It's because of all the artifacts they have in their house. Like, just stick with those.
Yeah.
If you want to just keep making movies.
Which, by the way, I'm going to throw this out here real quick. All right. In this movie, they are fucking hypocrites like a motherfucker, because they go to that fucking priest or ex-priest's house, and he shows them his like, look, I got all this fucking shit. They're like, you need to fucking burn this shit. And you're like, don't you also have like a room full of like demon toys and shit? Like,
well, no, the difference is like his room was full of text, which you could. I feel like that what they were saying. What
it was different artifact, but it was different artifacts and things like
it was mainly it was occult text, which is what like I think Lorraine was referencing, because you could burn that. Their stuff is stuff that was possessed that they don't want out in the world anymore, but they can't destroy it.
Okay, all right, that helps explain. I just was thinking like, you all have the same fucking kind of room, man.
They kind of go. I think they go into that with the first one, where like it because they kind of hinted at it again. Where remember what's his face Ed was like, well, let me show you Annabelle, but like they couldn't destroy Annabelle.
They're always fucking showing that goddamn Annabelle.
And I don't know why they made it look like it does. A Raggedy Ann doll is creepy enough.
Yeah, that's
just
what I'm
stuck with
saying.
A Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah.
They were not. Those
but
are ugly dolls.
You gotta have posters and like they want to make it look creepier. Like, I think it looks creepy, but again, it kind of goes away from the actual doll that inspired it. But
so again, this is another story of Ed and Lorraine Warren, and we've got Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga returning. Which
the beautiful versions of the real life people, because if you've seen footage of the actual Warrens, looks nothing like them.
So we also have Julian Hilliard, who is the youngest brother in The Haunting of Hill House, season 1.
Ah, okay.
He played David, the original possessed kid.
Yeah.
And then I just recognized him from The Haunting of Hill House, season 1. I think he might be in The Haunting of Bly Manor. I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't watched season 2 of that yet.
Yeah, no. I will watch it eventually. I've heard not the greatest things about that one.
Yeah, so this one starts off focusing on the Glatzel family. And okay, the initial possession exorcism thing, like, that didn't look like horrible CGI. Like, when he twists around on the table, I was expecting it to look bad. What are you thinking? I'm not saying it was great. It was definitely creepy.
All right, this is my whole thing, and I'm not going to get on a soapbox about this. But all these exorcism movies, they like contort and their bones like do this shit and they do all this stuff. And then eventually, like if they get the demon out, like the person's like, oh, good. And they walk it off. I'm like, is your shit still broken? And that's the only thing that bothers me.
Your shit's still
is that they put that shit in like your arms that don't go that way, and you're crawling like a crab and all that kind of shit happens. And then when they get cured, they're like, oh, good. Like, as soon as they get cured, they should be like, I'm in so much fucking pain as so many bones fucking broke unwillingly. But they're like, oh, good, I'm good now. The demon's out. Like, yes, the actual demon's out of you, but your bones don't heal that fast.
Like that kid David should have been dead.
Pretty much.
The way he bent.
Or the next time you see him, he is in a wheelchair. And he's like, well, the demon's out of me. I can't move but 5 fingers.
We're talking in wheelchair. We're talking Hawkins level. Like
exactly.
he's using his like.
That I want to see. I want to see a movie where yes, right immediately after they're like, we did it, we defeated, we got the demon out, and then next day, and the person is like actually maybe maybe in a hospital even just with every cast over every part of their body or at least a wheelchair or something, but they're like they walk it off. They just walk it off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be
just irritates the shit out of me.
That original exorcism is where Lorraine starts seeing the visions of the altar and all that stuff when she touches David. So basically what happens is David's older sister Debbie is dating a dude named Arnie, and he grabs David and is telling the demon to leave
the kid alone,
kill me or take me. So meanwhile,
so did anybody see that?
Ed did. And that was a cool scene where literally David jumps on Ed and he's like, I will stop your heart, old man. And he literally gives him a fucking heart attack. That was cool. But
it is kind of funny that he's like, ooh, I see what's going on. It's like, no, you don't, fucker.
I can't talk.
Yeah.
Heart attack.
You shut up.
And he was in a coma for like a month after that.
And I know. And that's the crazy thing is that the coincidental shit that like literally he wakes up. He's like, I've got to call I've got to call them immediately because I know that he's been possessed. And it's just the time they go, hey, man, turn that radio up to the level.
God, okay, that whole thing.
Turn that Blondie song up to the level we can't hear anything else in the room besides the song.
That whole thing, that dude, I wanted...
He was sleazy shit already.
I know, I didn't care that he died. I didn't care.
I mean, he was like, I know he's sleazy, but like, look, man, he's sleazy and he's like, hey, teenage girl, fucking dance with me, okay? What Arnie sees, what he sees... in his other view of him, like, pretty much trying to grab her and kill her or stuff like that is not true. But again, the dude's still kind of sleazy asking the teenager girl to dance with him. So,
like, I knew it was going to happen when what he saw was the dark hallway.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that was going to happen. That looked pretty cool because he sees that same thing again in the hospital.
Yeah.
So that demon looked pretty rad.
Speaking of which, I will say this. I will give this movie very much one credit. I never thought I could hear a creepy version of Call Me, but in the psych ward, I'll give it to him. That's a movie. That's a song I never thought I'd be like, that's fucking creeping me the fuck out.
Yeah,
I will give him that.
Yeah,
when the patient stands up and just starts going, Call Me. I was like, whoa. I was like, all right, that's kind of fucking cool. There you go. I gave him one credit.
Yeah, there's the credit. Yeah. So they find out that Arnie's possessed and yada yada, and they find out that
he murders the landlord, and then there's a whole court thing.
But that leads them to find out that because they found there was another missing girl.
Well, that's what's weird. So the cops they come to the Warrens. They're like, hey, mind help. It's weird because they call shenanigans and bullshit, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, if it's not bullshit, maybe you can help us out because we got this case that we've been not finding, not really sure. And it's these two girls, and one of them stabs the fuck out of her, and the other girl, the girl that stabbed her, went fucking missing, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the girl that stabbed her realized what she did, and then.
But they didn't know. But that's what I'm saying. They didn't know where she was, and due to the amazing psychic abilities, they figure out that she jumped off the cliff and into the water, which is weird that the cops didn't.
So he said we dredged the lake. We dredged that area twice. I'm like,
no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Fuck
you told the parents you did, motherfucker. You did not do that. Oh, we looked everywhere on that lake. Really?
Yeah.
Because you found her literally an hour after Warren was like, I think she's down there. And they're like, oh yeah, we found her. Then how the fuck did maybe I missed where they explained where they didn't check one spot of the lake or something. I don't know, but no, you didn't fucking look, dude. Shut up.
And there we get the first real look where we see it's like a battle between Lorraine and the occultist who is actually doing this. So it's not like a possessed artifact demon, which we've gotten in the first two films.
This one's more.
They go to the morgue, touch the body of the dead girl. Which, by the way, hey, wouldn't she have been more bloated? And how is she still slimy?
There's no way there's no way she'd be sitting out after being in the water that long.
She would have been so
bad. They would have had to have her in some kind of tank or something. She would have fallen apart. Sit out like that. She would have just slimed out, man.
She would have fallen apart.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. But I guess you can't.
I will
really
say
hold
the scariest part of that fucking movie is having that big fucking Samoa-looking bitch, dude. Man,
I will give you that.
There was another corpse there that just had the autopsy done, was sewn back up, and I don't know. Again, why are they leaving bodies out?
Didn't he kind of look like the landlord? but fatter.
Like a lot fatter.
But you see what I'm saying? Like they almost grabbed the actor that did the landlords. Like, here, put on the prosthetics, and now you get to be the corpse going after him.
But imagine being like having something that large.
Oh yeah,
and undead coming at you fast. Like, no. So that was cool.
Oh, we did. Did we talk about how the OG kid that got possessed? They find out that under his room was an artifact.
That's
what kind of brought him.
There was a witch's totem, which actually we skipped the part where they actually went to a priest initially, and that actor's been in a bunch of stuff.
I remember from Fringe. That's It bothered me for the longest time, and you watch something, and you're like, God damn it! Where's that motherfucker? He was on
Blacklist. He's been like this evil kind of character through a lot of stuff.
He always looks like there's some shit going on. He looks like his body's buried somewhere every time you talk to him. You're like, all right, dude, where's the bodies?
Yeah. And that's when you see his room, and he has a room full of just occult literature, and I'm like, that's not weird. But I guess it's the same thing of like it's locked up, so no one can get it.
Well, I want to make sure I get this right. So the church knew of all this shit, and the best way to do it was to keep it locked and him to study it, but not to study it on how to defeat it, right?
Maybe through studying about it, you figure out how to defeat it.
And you're like, well, okay, so this motherfucker saw all this shit. And then you go, no. He had sort of a daughter that he didn't tell the church about, and like almost like I'm gonna, you know how kids are always rebelling against their parents, and he's like, here, there's all this shit, to defeat it. And she goes, yeah, fucking defeat it, all right, and instead, rebel against your parents.
Yeah.
And she does the ultimate rebel against her parents.
Fucking kills the motherfucker.
Yeah.
So you find out that the woman that they see that's actually possessing and killing through
the scary librarian,
the scary librarian through the individual. So like she had taken over the girl's body that stabbed her best friend and then ran her, and like she's taken over Arnie, she took over David. She was taking over all these people because she made a pact with the demon that she has to take 3 souls by so much time,
and it's something like a kid. Like there's some kind of pattern.
It's like a child, a lover, and a man of like the cloth.
Yeah,
or like a man of faith. Man of faith.
Okay.
So the kid, David, Arnie, and then she got a hold of Ed because she got once she saw Lorraine and knew who they were. She knew who they were. She then broke into their house and put a witch's totem in some flowers that were delivered. Yeah. And that cursed Ed. So that was the man of faith. Meanwhile, can I say something about old poor Ed? This motherfucker is trying to run through the woods with a cane. He had just had a stint put in his heart, dude. I felt so bad for him. He's just like out of breath, sweating.
Or literally he has to be in a wheelchair for the, when they take him to the, when they go to the courtroom scene and stuff like that. Yeah. Like he's in a wheelchair. And eventually he's like, all right, I'm going to start to walk. He's like, come on, Ed, keep up. You're like, motherfucker.
He's like chasing after Lorraine in the woods so she won't jump off the fucking...
He keeps getting fucking possessed. He like the first time he got possessed...
How did he not die at the end scene? He didn't take his pills.
Oh, man.
How did he not die swinging that sledgehammer around
I appreciate the first possession scene because of where it took place and everything.
Because it was quick. It was like he was getting ready to stab her and they're like, oh, wait, whoa.
But, all right. I'm just going to throw this out there. It's fucking stupid at the end, all right? It's fun. Look, I know in The Exorcist, they say the power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you, right? In this movie, the power of love compels you. You might as well fucking just crank up that Huey Lewis song. Yeah. Because literally, the power of love, the power of flashback memories can defeat possession. Because literally, that's how Ed defeats being possessed is, remember how we met? Remember how
then this big, huge, dramatic. So the only way to break the curse.
I wanted to crank in the power of love. Literally, that scene where his eyes go back to normal. Like it's just stupid. It's fucking stupid.
They found out the only way to break the curse was to destroy the altar.
And that's where, right after he.
So right after he comes out of it, then you see this big dramatic thing where he just breaks the altar and then doesn't fucking die. Like, I'm sorry, they made a huge deal about him not having his pills before, and he exerted way more force.
Dude, I know several people that don't take their heart medication that can lift heavy items, and that's what happens. That's what happens all the time.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, when I saw that scene, I just thought they basically watched In the Tall Grass and took his character from that.
God damn it, I forgot about that.
Remember he's swinging shit and fucking going crazy. Like it was the same shit. I'm like, oh wait, he could do that as Ed Warren.
But I'll say this: I liked his character in Tall Grass more because he was
way more
creepy psycho. And this
singing
one,
Midnight Special and fucking that was awesome.
No, I just had a problem with the resolution, and this happens all the fucking time.
And literally everything we just talked about,
no matter how powerful somebody is, possessing or can do whatever, it's like, well, if you show them true love will destroy everything. No, all right.
I think this is the last one. And by the way, this one had like 60 some percent on Rotten Tomatoes, where the first two were 84 and 80.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing...
There's points in this movie I thought were good. Man, I'll just say straight up, like, overall, there's a lot of dragging in this shit.
I will say that I agree with you. My thing, what I really loved about this movie was that it was different. They just didn't execute it well. Like, not having just an artifact that allowed a demon to come in, like the Conjuring, it was the house, and in the Conjuring 2, it was the whatever the fuck it was. I forget what it was. The nun, the paint, whatever. However she possessed. I haven't watched Conjuring 2 in a couple of years. But anyway,
I need to watch that.
Like, this was, so it wasn't like a demon that broke out. It was a person who cursed people, and they were actually the ones controlling and possessing the other people. So it was like,
that also kind of, like, I don't know, that kind of threw me off. It's like, oh, this has been set up. Like, okay, well, like, I don't know. That doesn't make it scarier. That doesn't make it any more. I mean, but
I think it was executed poorly.
You do have one actual kill when she kills her fucking dad. But besides that, like, there's no difference between that except someone set up to curse these people and bring. Well,
the other two weren't really kill heavy either. It was more about the jump scares and.
Well, but I'm saying that was like, they were like, see, we're gonna have a real person here, so there'll be a scene where she's gonna fucking actually murder a motherfucker. Like, that's about it. Like, so to me, I enjoy the first Conjuring. I wish it kind of was just its own movie. It just still won't, because I enjoy it. And I think, honestly, the appeal of it and where it stood in the horror community has dropped so severely because they just kept making these movies. Well, and not the Conjuring, I'm talking about the Annabelles and all that. Yeah. To where this third one, I think, is closer in tone to the branch offs than it is to the OG movie, in my opinion.
That's true. And like I said, you wish they stayed with just the Conjuring, but so you haven't seen 2.
No,
like
that's true.
3 definitely.
If they did 1 and 2, I'd be fine. I'm talking about where they just kept. Yeah. They kept making all the branch offs, the Nun, Annabelle, all that.
It didn't feel like the Conjuring or the Conjuring 2. This movie did not feel like that. Like, I'm saying, they could have taken the concept of not making it the same thing with the possessed artifact and doing the story they did, but making it feel like a Conjuring movie.
I'll say this too.
You know what I mean? Because it doesn't, and like, you need to see 2 because you're really just going off 1. You haven't seen 2,
right? But you know what? I'll leave 2 out of it. I've heard a lot of people say it was good. I'm not even going after 2. I'm talking about everything else. Just like I said, Nun, Annabelle, all that.
I've only watched like a couple of those because they were not good.
But I think you go back to the first Conjuring and like it kind of takes place in one setting. It's that house, that family. I mean, fuck, man, that basement scene, the clapping, stuff like that, like, legit was scary and fucked with you. And this one, it's like, well, we could do it in one place, but we're going to do it so many places, and you go back and forth. That also irritates me when it's like, we're following the Warrens on the tunnel system, then we cut back to the exorcism, we're following and that back and forth, and it takes jump scares and things like that away when you have to follow 2 different stories instead of one character slowly going down a basement and the light goes out. Yeah, and all you are is you're with that character.
That exorcism reminded me of, what was that shitty movie we watched with Eric Bana?
God, I don't know. And
remember that exorcism?
Oh yeah,
it reminded me.
You mean where the movie stopped and we cheered and they asked they were going to put it back on. We said not to worry about it. We're like, cool. You don't have to start back. We'll just leave, dude.
But it was kind of that same level of exorcism where it's like,
yeah. Oh, and all right. Tell me you didn't get pissed the fuck off when they blatantly try to copy the outside shot from fucking Exorcism.
Oh, that was the beginning. That was terrible.
I'm just don't do that.
That was terrible.
Hey, guys, don't do that. All right.
Stop.
Hey, look, we did a little reference, and I know it's supposed to be like this like tribute. Or no, don't do that. Just don't. You're referencing an all-time classic.
The caliber is not there.
Yeah,
it's not there.
You're not allowed to do that, guys.
That was horrible. Yeah, that was. I saw it. I was trying not to.
When I saw that scene, I said, "Oh, I bet that pissed Steven the fuck off," because I'm pretty sure, like, literally, that's such an iconic scene. I believe that's one of your.
It's one of my tattoos.
Yeah, I mean, like, and they're like, we could do that too.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
No, you cannot. You can't do that. No. So we're gonna wrap it up on this movie. Really, everything we touched were basically the beat points of it, and because there's not a lot. There really wasn't a lot there, and like initially when I finished watching it, I was like, well, that wasn't terrible. But the more I thought about it, and the more I really was just like, it doesn't pass a chopping block. It's just I don't want to own it. I own the first two. I don't want to own this one. I'm glad I didn't.
That kind of says a lot.
It does. I love the first two. I rewatched the first two.
So you kind of agree. It kind of follows in the beats of the branch.
Like I don't know any. I don't know. I don't own any of the movies in the universe. I own the Conjuring 1 and 2.
Yeah,
that is all I own.
I'm the same way.
I've watched 2 of the Annabelles. I watched La Lorna. I did not watch, and I was like, I don't need to watch any more of these.
I watched the first Annabelle. I didn't really care for it.
Well, the second one was really good. The first one sucked.
I know.
The third one sucked. Second one was solid.
And that's the challenge. Is if the first one sucks, that's good. Well, you just watch the second one. You're like, I don't know about that.
It's like watching I Know What You Did Last Summer than watching I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Why would you watch?
To me, Conjuring 3, the pacing was really slow. Again, like for a jump scare type of movie like that, branching off into 2 different like timelines, storylines, it takes a lot of that away. I thought the Ed getting possessed and the power of love, bringing him back was fucking stupid.
See, now, I don't know if it might have gotten some editing because they had it sitting around so much longer, and that can be detrimental to a film too.
Yeah,
it was supposed to come out last summer.
Well, but and if you weren't sure about the Ed thing, literally the dude that's possessed and he's supposed to try to kill himself, and his girlfriend shows up at the last minute to grab his arm right before he's about to slit his throat. And it was like this weird like theme of like love will conquer all. And I'm like, I don't need a love conquers all kind of
were there reshoots, or was it did it get re-edited? Like, was there something? Because it's just hard to believe that this is what they gave us for a third one. Like, you know what I mean? Like a movie that had a year to keep.
Different director. Hold on, different director.
Yeah.
It's been a while, and look, as much as we talk shit about all those Annabelle movies and the Nun stuff like that, they do box office. Hey, can you make this and just keep it in the same vein and keep it to what the kids like? Sure. There you go.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
All right. So
we're out, man. Like I said, Conjuring, apparently Conjuring 2. That's all.
Yeah. And Hunter was going to watch Conjuring 2.
Yep.
So let us know what you think at lowdownbrown.gui@gmail.com. And, if you know of anything you've heard behind the scenes where there was some like reshoots or any kind of extra editing done after the initial release date because they had a whole other year. My thing is, like, if you create something and you want to get ready to put it out and then you have to hold on to it for too long, you might go back and be like, oh, well,
we should add this.
So I don't know.
Let's make a system of tunnels.
There was some fuckery going on with the film either, because it's just hard to believe they would put out a movie that was this low of a caliber compared to the first two. But they did. So let us know again if you know anything that we missed as far as behind the scenes stuff that might have changed the final product. And also go to GUIPodcast.com. Check out all the shows on the network. There's something for everybody. Hit up all our links. We got to go through Amazon, our Amazon link, and just shop through Amazon like normal. We get a little kickback. We love that shit because it helps us buy podcast stuff because that's not cheap. And then we've also got our TeePublic link where all our merch is there. Fuckload of designs. That's where I'm just going with the fuck ton. Fuck ton designs. That's it. Some are great. And all of them are awesome, but some don't really deserve.
Some are a little, some people might appreciate some a little more than others.
Yeah. So, until we talk to you again, stay safe.
at GUIPodcast.com.
Hey guys, Scotty Big Daddy Preston here. That's right, the Geek Father, asking you to join me here every other week with friends and family of the GUI Network as we go through all the trials and tribulations of being a geeky parent. So remember, join us or cry.
In a world ravaged by movie studios that keep rehashing the same things, only one podcaster has the guts to make it even worse. Join Mike the Hobbit as he traverses the internet to bring you some of the best and worst ideas for reboots, remakes, and reimaginings of some of your favorite and least favorite TV and film properties. Ideas like a John Waters He-Man movie, Fantastic Four the musical, and aliens done entirely with marionettes. What podcast would bring this evil upon the world? This is Smack My Pitch Up. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.
My name is Amy Bogard.
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
And we are the hosts of Deeply Upsetting, where we use our expertise to answer your most upsetting hypothetical quandaries, such as, what non-winged animal deserves wings?
And what body part deserves a secret mouth?
Which cryptid is the worst roommate?
These questions and more that plague you will be answered on Deeply Upsetting, available anywhere you get your podcasts and at GUIpodcast.com.